Ultamize. Most conversations don't die because of awkward silence. They die because of bad questions, specifically, questions that end the conversation instead of opening it. Let me show you the difference. You meet someone and ask, "Did you have a good weekend?" They say, "Yes, it was good." Okay, conversation over. You didn't do anything wrong, but you didn't give the conversation anywhere to go. Now, change one thing. Instead of, "Did you have a good weekend?" ask, "What did you do this weekend?" Now they have to say something. But we can make it even better. What was the best part of your weekend? Now you've directed their brain to something specific, something positive, something they're more likely to enjoy talking about. That's an open ended question. It invites a real answer. Now, here's where this gets powerful. Most people ask safe, predictable questions like, "What do you do? Where are you from? How long have you been here?" Those questions are fine. You can still ask them, but they usually lead to short, routine answers. And routine answers lead to low energy conversations, boring ones. Now, compare that to this. Instead of asking, "What do you do?" ask, "What do you like to do for fun when you're not working?" Watch what happens. The person's face changes, their tone changes. They move from a rehearsed answer to something they actually care about. They'll talk about some new sport. Maybe it was padel. Maybe it was e-surfing, but they start talking about something new. "I just started learning how to cook Italian food. I'm trying to get better at golf." Now you have something alive. Now you have something you can build on. And you didn't need to be clever to get there. You just asked a better question. Here's another situation. You're talking to someone and they mention something in passing. "I've been really busy with this new project." Most people hear that and either ignore it or immediately shift back to themselves and talk about how busy they are. You don't do that. You stay with it. "What kind of project are you working on?" Now they explain. You follow up again. "What's been the hardest part?" Now they go deeper. Now the conversation feels meaningful because you're not jumping topics, you're exploring one. That's a huge difference. Now, let's talk about one of the biggest mistakes people make. They ask a question and then they answer it themselves. You've seen this. "So, what do you do?" "I mean, I'm in consulting, but I used to be in marketing and blah, 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 blah." Now it's not a question, it's a transition into their own story. And the other person never really got a chance to speak. Here's the rule I want you to follow: ask the question, then get out of the way. Let them answer. Let them think. Let there be a second of silence if needed. You don't need to rescue the conversation. Now, let's make this even more practical. Here are a few simple upgrades you can start using immediately. Instead of, "Did you like it?" try, "What did you like most about it?" Instead of, "Was it difficult?" try, "What was the hardest part?" Instead of, "Do you travel much?" "What's been your favorite place you've been to recently?" Each of these does the same thing. They take a yes or no question and turn it into a conversation. Now, one more important shift. When you ask open ended questions consistently, something interesting happens. You don't have to work as hard because the other person starts carrying the conversation. They talk more, they share more, they open up, and they walk away thinking, "That was a great conversation," even though most of what happened was them talking. And that's exactly the point. You don't become a great conversationalist by having all the answers. You become one by asking better questions and then actually listening to the answers.